before, we said that this is the 13th zone because there's 12 and then there's 13 in the realm of 7, etc. And we're dealing with the times and dimensions where it gets into all the cell phones talking about the GMT and etc. We already know about that, and that in that zone itself is unique and wonderful. Let's go to the next one. Now, here is where we talked about where we dealt with the blue stone. It was down here last time, but I put it up here because I wanted to flip it on top. It's upside down, people. So you know the fire, not like, what's going on. I just flipped it so you can see the word blue. It was down here and you couldn't read it, but this is the word blue. And this is the stone here. And in these stones, does something like that stone exist? Does a stone like that exist? No, not really. But it does. But anyway, let's not deal with that right now. Now, here's the thing. These people who are the blue, these are the 7 principal people of the indigenous. But see, these are the 7 principal people of Ayah when the land was one mass. And all of a sudden, from Egypt, Ayah made the streams come and separate the lands from the great waters and made the people from a 1 people to 7 people. Then from there, we have this. Now, many of you probably know what this is. If not, this is what they call the metron, a metatron. Now, in this one structure, let's see if we can bring this out. We know that it's there. We see that. But then inside there, we know that we have the realm that is there that connects to where we are. And that is the realm. So what we look at is say, hey, then what are these here? And we look at this one here, we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then when you look at this, you say, hold on. So if there's 6 in there and there's 7 on the outer realm, 7 and 6 equal what? 13. 1 and that equals 4. So this is the path. So your understanding really is, when you really look at this spectrum of the sacred geometry, you're looking at not just 13, but 7 within 7. Because what happens is this doubles. So you don't look at 6. You look at 7 within 7, a wheel within the wheel. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying and the principle of it? But when I get into the sacred geometry and the matrix of it, and then deal with the pi and all the other specs where you have them within this dimension here, this healing where they go into the benign, the tree, and all that other madness, I don't want to go into that. I want to stay with the 7 principal people and how we were at one time 13, but now we're 7. And these other 6 that were there, they are still with us in reach, but they're not the principal people. Because Ayah said that I shall make you people what? Sacred in my own people. And a lot of people have taken that text and say, hey, we are ABC. We are Hebrew Israelites. We're Christians. And this is what we're doing. God said that, but God did not say that. These are the things in the realm from what they are. They don't understand the principles of what these things are about. And they don't understand the sacred geometry and how the Bible and the text was written. And the 7 principal people that connect to the mysticism of what things are, they begin to have with the connection where that these things were of the 13 new moons. And in the 13 new moons of what things are, we begin to understand that there are 7 principles. That's why we have 7 days. That's 7, 4, which is 4 weeks, makes 28, which is 10, make it 1. The thing is, in making 1 brings us into the oneness. The oneness is even greater into this sacred geometry and where we are. Now, the 7 principal people come from there, dealing with that factor. We deal with this where it comes from the older period of time, and this is where when you have this guy, what's his name, Charleston Heston, and he made Moses, and they made him in red. So first of all, that should give you a highlight, like he's in red. our people are about blue. Then what they did, this, I like this because this is what the brothers out of New York and stuff, they deal with. LaShawan, Kadash, they deal with that kind of a language. But they also relate and say the qualification of it is where they, on the street corner, and they deal with saying that they put underneath it the Jewish letters and say this is the foundation language. But actually, that's not true. It's in reverse. The foundation language is the ancient. As we showed you in the Jewish website, the language as well as the Star of David itself is something new. This is not where it is. So when you're dealing with these things, there's more to it than just that, because it has a greater meaning and a greater understanding, because we're now connected to something that's even more so than that. So when you're dealing with this, we show how the foundation language has more going on than just that, because there is a reason behind these things. And when you're dealing with this, they kind of like throw you off, because a lot of people don't know that in the Jewish encyclopedia, as I explained before, the foundation and the origin of the alphabet is very simply this. That's why they had to show this, but in the movies, this was not clear. But they showed you him walking with these tablets. The thing is, the origin and foundation of the Jewish letters, and you say, wait a minute, if this so-called Moses with the big red bloody sky and the red carpet he got on and everything else, and these stones, they're sandstones, and they were not the original stones, and he was in the audacity that he going to destroy something that the Creator made. We know it had to be black stone and embedded in the light, but here's the thing. When we're dealing with it, we know it had to be blue or the very dark blue, which is called indigo or lapis with the gold letters. Another thing is that in this factory here, it's showing you that their foundation language was not the Jewish morphic language, but this one here, even though it's like backwards, yes. I was looking at that. Did you see it too?
Yeah, she was, what's the letter said? I don't know, it's backwards. Unless it's backwards.
Let's see if we can turn it around.
They playing their games. Dang, he doing head stands like a brother.
Well, I can't flip it. Well, but it is in reverse. But see, those who understand that would know that. But it's, did I make it worse?
It's the same.
Okay.
I thought you had to go back again.
Yeah, that would be right, but you gotta twist up your neck and then.
Yeah.
Still backwards. Some stuff is right.
And then we be talking out the side of my neck. Now, here's the thing. With this being what it is, what I'm trying to share with you is this, is that the origin of the alphabet itself comes from not being Semitic, but it comes from what they call the Hebrew, which is not really the Hebrew, so-called Phoenician or Semitic, all right? Which is all systems in the letter they use. But it's actually what you call the Hebrew alphabet, which is the Bara'ayah. So all these things are written in stone, and we all know this because we've already done this study, and we broke down this, and they show you the text and how things are with this here, and the ayin, the circle opened more and more into a curve. It became there. So what they're telling you right here, in the ayin, the circle without there, we have the dot. The circle opened more and more until the curve, and then the curve became an angle open at the top. In the aleph, the sides of the angle separated, and the upper one moving more and more to the right and becoming unrecognizable small. So in the kaf. So what they're telling you is that these things that are happening, that the ayin is really the alaf, or really the alaf is the ayin. So we know that there's a difference in these structures.